In the vast and unforgiving waters of the Mediterranean Sea, a tragedy unfolded that few have heard of, yet it stands alongside the horrors of the Titanic and Nagasaki in its sheer scale and sorrow. Over 1,200 soldiers were aboard when the Indian police cruiser ship met its catastrophic end, an event steeped in secrecy, wartime urgency, and haunting consequences. This is not just the story of a ship that sank, but of a mission so crucial that even the captain didn't know its full importance, and of a crew who faced unimaginable horrors in the days that followed. The story begins with the ship itself, an engineering marvel of its time. Built in 1930 in America, it weighed over 10,000 tons, comparable to the Eiffel Tower in mass, and was designed as a steam-powered heavy cruiser. This wasn't just another vessel, it was a symbol of power, strength, and technological advancement. It could travel across the world without refueling, reaching speeds of up to 32 knots. Armed with 9 9-inch guns and numerous anti-aircraft weapons, it stood as one of the most formidable warships of the early 20th century. During World War II, the ship carved its name into naval history. It earned 10 battle stars by sinking nearly 1,000 Japanese vessels. Its performance and effectiveness earned the admiration of none other than US President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who favored it for important missions. But among all its achievements, one mission remained the most significant and the most secretive. In July 1945, the ship was chosen to transport components of the atomic bomb known as Little Boy, the bomb that would later be dropped on Hiroshima. The ship carried its lethal cargo from San Francisco to the remote island of Tinian in the Pacific. Shockingly, even the ship's captain, Charles McVeigh, was kept in the dark about the full nature of the mission. This secrecy, though vital to the Manhattan Project, would later prove to be a contributing factor to the ship's tragic fate. After completing its delivery, the ship began its return journey. On July 28, 1945, it departed from Guam and headed toward the Philippines. Despite multiple requests from Captain McVeigh for escort protection, the ship was sent alone, sailing through waters known to be prowled by Japanese submarines. Just past midnight, disaster struck. The Japanese submarine I-58 launched 6 torpedoes. Within just 12 minutes, the mighty cruiser was torn apart and sank beneath the waves. What followed was a nightmare. The sinking was just the beginning. The survivors, hundreds of them, were left stranded in open water with no lifeboats, little food, and almost no hope. They endured blistering heat during the day and freezing temperatures at night. Dehydration set in quickly. Some began hallucinating. Others succumbed to exhaustion, but the most terrifying threat came from below sharks. Attracted by the blood and movement, white tip and tiger sharks began circling and attacking. Panic rippled through the floating groups of sailors, and many died not from the sinking, but from the predators of the deep. In the face of unimaginable horror, the survivors tried to stay organized. Captain McVeigh urged those still alive to band together in groups, resisting the urge to drift toward the bodies of the dead. A bag of spoiled potatoes was shared among them, offering meager sustenance. For 3.5 days, they clung to life in a nightmare that refused to end. When rescue finally came, it wasn't because of a coordinated mission, it was luck. An American patrol plane happened to spot the oil slick and movement in the water. Of the 1,200 men aboard the ship, only 316 survived. The rest were lost either in the explosion, to the ocean, or to the sharks. Yet even in the face of such devastation, the controversy had only begun. Captain McVeigh was soon court-martialed. The charge? Failing to zigzag the ship, an evasive maneuver believed to reduce the risk of torpedo attacks. It was a stunning blow to a man who had served with honor, and many believed he was scapegoated to cover up higher-level failures. Years later, surviving crew members and historians would fight to clear his name, revealing that he had requested escort, that his zigzagging orders were vague, and that the attack was unavoidable under the circumstances. Behind the scenes, even more disturbing truths came to light. Rescue signals sent by the ship had been received but were dismissed as drunken chatter by radio operators. Delays in detection and the failure to act cost hundreds of lives. The tragedy was not just the sinking, but the silence, negligence, and cover-ups that followed. But time has a way of bringing healing, even between enemies. In 2023, survivor Harold Scott sent a heartfelt letter to Kido Kasuo, the son of the Japanese submarine commander who led the attack. The message was simple, yet profound: forgiveness. Both men emphasized that war creates enemies out of strangers, and peace must be built on understanding, not revenge. Today, the story of the cruiser ship stands as more than just a wartime disaster. It is a powerful lesson in leadership, communication, and the human cost of secrecy. It teaches us the value of empathy, cooperation, and the courage it takes to forgive, even decades after the last shot was fired. If this story has touched you, you're not alone. It's a reminder that history is not just about facts and figures, but about people, their sacrifices, their choices, and the legacies they leave behind. Please like, share, and subscribe for more stories that matter. Let's keep the memories of these brave souls alive, and let's keep learning from the past so we can build a better future.